Yo, what it is, it's the RULE, and you off the record with Tim and MB. Holla!
What's going on, everybody? This is Tim.
And I'm MB.
And this is Off the Record, a place where we have conversations with dope people from all parts of the culture in hopes to bring you plenty game and more insight.
And today we have a very, very special guest. This man is a hip-hop legend. You cannot deny that. His longevity speaks for itself. His catalog speaks for itself. He's transitioned into a great businessman with multiple ventures and is working on so many great things. We can all learn something from listening to him. It's my pleasure to welcome Ja Rule to Off the Record. How you doing today?
Yo, what's good, fellas? How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Man, Ja, we appreciate it, man. You coming on.
Thanks for having me out, man. Thanks for having me, man. This is going to be a good one.
Absolutely. Like that intro said, you're a man with many hats, music, business, stock, everything that you're doing. For those people out there that don't necessarily know you or you're introducing yourself for the first time, how do you do that? Like, what do you say you do when you're introducing yourself for the first time?
Shit. I'm just a regular dude, man. I'm just a guy, you know what I mean? That's out here working hard to live the American dream, I guess. if that's what you want to call that shit, you know what I mean? But you know, that's a good question because, you know, I always like to look at myself as one of the people. I like to be amongst the people. You know, I'm a people person, and I like to lead by example. You know, that's part of how I you know lead my with my thing. You know, I get my hands dirty with the gang. You know, that's just how I am. You know, and so it's hard to define, you know, what that is when you have accomplished a lot. You know, and you want to just be recognized as one of the crew. You know. So you know, it's hard. I kind of let my accolades and stuff speak for myself. I let people speak for my character for me. You know, to the people that know me and love me, they know who I am, and they can speak for my character better than I can. But yeah, you know, I'm a nigga out here trying to make it, man. That's it.
I feel you. So Josh, you know, you are a legend in hip hop. You've also been around so many legends in hip hop and some of the greatest executives that the game has ever had, from Irv Gotti, of course, to Dame Dash, to Leor Cohen. The list goes on and on. What were some valuable things that you learned from the music industry that you apply to your other business ventures?
You know, it's crazy. It's interesting that you said that because, like, I've been around them all. I learned something from them all. From, you know, like you said, from Gotti. You know, that was my brother. We was in this together, dog fight together. You know, but I learned so much from him too. You know, to Leor, to Dame, to Jay, to Diddy, to Suge, like Jay Prince. Like I was around it all of it. You know, everybody. I had a good relationship with everybody. All of these, you know, top dogs, and you know, was able to, you know, Russ. Let's not leave out Russ, you know, but
definitely.
and was able to learn so much from him. Def Jam in itself was an institution. The label itself, like going through there, you know, you learn so much going through those doors. Not only from the moguls that was in there, you know, Chris Lighty was there, God rest.
Right.
The dad. You know, there was a lot of moguls in them doors. But also artists, you know, it was so many dope artists. It was artists that wasn't even on Def Jam that just used to hang out in the building and shit. You know, everybody was there. So it was like, if you wasn't on Def Jam at the time, you was, you know, managed by Rush Management. So it's definitely an institution. And I learned a lot from them dudes, man. And it was a blessing and an honor to be able to come up under such a vast umbrella of individuals, you know.
Did you take a lot of what they said too, and just like you said, not only applied it to music, but business and personal life and things like that? What were some of the keys that you could just think off the top of your head, like little things that you remember that stick out with you just on a daily?
Man, I ain't listened to none of that shit they was telling me at the time. Word. I was just young and wanted to be free, be wild. You know, I was in my early 20s, 22, something like that,
Mhm.
you know, 23, making millions of dollars. You know, so as much as it was like, you know how you want your kids to hear what you're saying at the time, but they ain't listening, but they hearing you. You know, it's that type of shit. It's like, you know, I was learning the lessons while I was being stubborn and being me and then living, you know, on my own accord. Because you have to have that part of it too. You know, you got to go out there and get your feet wet and put your hand on the stove when they told you it's hot over there. You got to still learn a little bit. You know what I mean? Fire. You know, so no, no pun intended. But you know, you gotta definitely learn your lessons on your own too, as much as you learn from your mentors and the people that went ahead of you. You still have to go out there and make your own bones and learn your own lessons.
Exactly.
And that's what life is about.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes you might not be ready to receive those lessons, even though, like you said, you might, you know, people may have been telling you everything, but you might not have been in the mental space to even, you know, apply some of that shit. Because
They ain't say everything now. They ain't gonna tell you everything.
Yeah. Well, some things, yeah. So Josh, so you have multiple business ventures that you have been involved in. I'm sure in many different sectors of business. What sector of business has been the most profitable for you?
I would probably say music. Music has been very, very profitable for me. Other ventures, you know, you got stuff that you put your money into and invest in, you know, like stocks and, you know, things of that nature. But, you know, those are also long-term plays, you know, for when you're older and, you know, you have, you know, a nice little nest egg.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, you know, I would definitely have to say music because the touring side of music is heavy.
Is there?
It's heavy, you know, but
not to cut you off, John, but is there, especially now, is there a lot more ways to make residual income from music, even like in the newer age now, like where we're at, to make so much more in different avenues, just in music? Like the streams, you got the touring.
I mean, yeah, there's, you know, there's a lot of different ways to make money in music now, but you got the streaming, you got the tour, but you know, it's still touring is still the big money getter in music.
Yeah.
Even though they have streams and trust me, you know, motherfuckers make a lot of money off streams. Yeah. But you know, touring is still the big hitter.
I live in LA and they still play your hits on K-Day, on 93.5 K-Day. And so like to this day, like
shout out to
swear to God.
So
so because of that, do you still get royalties from those songs that you made a long time ago when, you know, a K-Day is
playing,
playing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Dope. Absolutely. You know, that's the beauty of making those big colossal records, those big hit records, is that you do eat off them for a long time. You know, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And you know, like you said, those records still play to this day. You know, younger generations now getting into those records, redo my records. You know, so those checks, those keep coming.
And I know you wanted to talk about too, a lot of these, you were smart enough to get in a deal where you can still eat off of. Like, I think you were savvy enough to like, look, I'm playing the long term too. I'm going to keep my royalties. You're seeing these days now people getting taken advantage of, not keeping any royalties, stuff like that. Yeah. Why does that happen now more than ever? I feel like.
I think it's kind of just the opposite. I think it's happening a little less now, you know, because people have other options. When I was coming up, it was like either you signed a record label or that's it. You really didn't have a chance of being, you know, that magnitude of an artist, you know. But now, shit, you can put your shit out on SoundCloud, you know, on the internet, on your, you know, if you get a big following on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all these platforms, and you know, put your music out through Spotify and Apple. Like, we didn't have none of that shit. Like, I remember prime example, like when you know, French Me and French is, we go back. French used to come to the studio back in the days when we was rocking. He used to be doing the cocaine DVDs and shit. And, he was just getting into the music biz and shit like that. So when French started popping off, I remember just seeing the difference of how smooth the transition was for him to go overseas and start making those big bags. When my era, I had to go to that motherfucker. I had to go there and like touch the people, feel the people. You no, you understand what I'm saying? Like The internet, just once your record now gets big, it's the internet. Everybody's able to see it. They're able to see the videos. They're able to see everything all over the country, all over the world. And now, you can just go to these places. You're already big there. It was, and it was just amazing to see how the transition of how the times change from this to that. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of what these artists have now. That internet is a motherfucking monster, man. It's the gift and the curse. Right. Because they got to deal with a lot of shit that I didn't have to deal with either, as far as all of the, cameras and people, trying to out them for this and that and the third. We also didn't have to deal with that now era. So, you get the good with the bad when it comes to the internet. But I really, truly do believe that it took a while, but the internet is a great thing for music.
Yeah.
and artists, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that later on, but since we're talking about it now, it seemed like the major label, because you experienced the major label machine, right? Just because, they blew you up and then you became this superstar. What's your take on signing with the major versus staying independent? Do you think that there's still benefits to signing with a major in today's day?
Yeah, there's benefits. It's like I talked about this before in another interview that I did, but it's like it depends on what you want out of it.
Yeah.
It depends on what you want out of this business. Every artist doesn't want to, win awards and get Grammys and all of that shit. Some artists just want to, make dope music and cater to their core fan base. And they cool with that. And nowadays, you can get rich doing that.
Yeah,
you understand? Right. Whereas before, you had to be with the major to get pushed, to radio and this, that, and the third in order to be able to sell out shows and arenas and shit. You don't have to do that now. You look at artists like, Triple X, God bless the dead. He was crushing it and selling out arenas and shit like that, with no radio play at all.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's a testament to what the industry has become and how you can really go out there and touch the people on your own and garner your own fan base and create your own, movement and become fucking the biggest thing.
100%.
Look at Drake.
Yeah.
Drake swelled up from the underground the same way through the internet. It's just that, a label came and swooped him up, gave him a big bag and said, yo, come fuck with us. But, if Drake wasn't with a label, he'd kill it too. If he was independent right now, he would really show you the power of independence. You know what I mean? But that's just where it's at right now. But like I say to these new artists, it depends on what you want out of this business. If you want awards and accolades and all of that stuff, but don't get me wrong, I love that shit too. All that shit, it's amazing to be acknowledged for your work. We work hard, we get in that studio, we're in there fucking 12, 14, 16 hours a day, sometimes 20 hours a day and shit, getting 4 hours of sleep, we work hard, we on the road traveling and, it's a grind. So of course you want to be, acknowledged for your work. So don't get me wrong, but some artists is all about that personal touch, what I mean, that personal with their fan base.
Right.
So Josh, you've been very vocal about what happened with Robinhood and how they stopped the trading of the AMC and the GameStop stock. Before we get into that, when did you first start investing in stocks?
I've been on Robinhood since like 2014.
Okay.
Prior to that, I've traded, with personal, with my banker and my personal accountant and my trader guy. But I didn't do any real type of trading like that. Like they told me what to invest in, and I did it. We made money on it, got out of it. It was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I got Robinhood, I thought it was a really cool app and a great thing because it taught me stocks. It taught me more about, the stock market versus me just listening to some guy that says, yo, you give me, 20, 50, 100 grand and I'll invest it here and I'll bring you back, 5% return on your money. And
that's a mutual fund, right? Like,
yeah,
you
do those, you get with those, the guys and they do these funds with you and shit. And it's like, that's cool and all, but when I discovered Robinhood, I thought it was a really dope thing because you can actually learn a little more about the stock market from actually having this app in your hand that was actually basically showing me the stock market, teaching me the stock market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. So, obviously, we're aware of everything that's been going on with Robinhood. So, yeah. So where do you still stand today with Robinhood? Are you still using Robinhood?
See, now I'm mad at Robinhood. I'm not gonna lie, because
a lot of people are.
Robinhood started out, and that was their thing. They're for the little guy. They're for the retailer. They're for the trader. That doesn't get a chance to trade the same way the hedge fund guys do or the Wall Street guys do. So that's what really attracted me to the app. And now what they've done in over the last week or so. It's really fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Cutting off trades, not allowing people to trade on those Reddit stocks. That it unevened the playing field where Robinhood was supposed to be about leveling the playing field. Mm-hmm. So I just thought it was fucked up for them to engage in that type of business. For all people that don't understand, what they did is they basically halted trading on GameStop and AMC and costs and what else did they fucking halt on? There's a bunch of them. It was like 50. Yeah. It was like 50 stocks that they halted, trade on, and so they made it so you can only sell your stocks.
Yeah.
So now let me take you through. Let me explain a little bit. So the hedge fund guys, the big guys, they're shorting these stocks, which means they're betting that these stocks will do bad, that they'll underperform. So the Reddit guys, Wall Street bet guys said, fuck that. Let's pump these stocks. Let's buy these stocks and make these stocks go through the roof. And so now these hedge fund guys either lose money, they start losing their money, lots of money, or they can go at this point, they have to go on the other side of it so they can fucking try to, regain some of their loss.
Yeah. So
this is what the Reddit guys did. So now stock starts pumping, going through the roof. The little guy starts getting rich off of this fucking, it's finagling really of the stock market, if you look at it in that way, So they're driving the stock. Robinhood then says, we don't like what's going on, basically. We don't like that the little guy is making money off of this. We're going to side with our hedge fund buddies, and we're going to halt trading on these stocks. So you guys cannot make any more money on these stocks. So now we cannot buy these stocks anymore. These guys bet that these stocks would go down. So now think about it. The little guy can't buy them anymore. We can only sell them. So what do you think that does to the little guy? They start getting scared that they're going to lose the money that they make. So they start selling the stock so they make their money. They're like, fuck it, let me pull my money out. I made some money. They start selling off the stock. Everybody starts selling the stock. The stock goes down. These guys make their money on the short.
And that's why you were telling and that's why you were telling everybody to don't sell, right? Because I seen you saying that. Yeah.
I was telling them to hold. I was saying, hold it. Let's hold it, because I think it happened on a Friday or Thursday, like Thursday or Friday. Mm-hmm. So market closes on the weekend. So that's really, really dirty pool if y'all really know what's going on.
Right.
So the market's closed over the weekend. So now you're telling me for a whole 2 days I'm not allowed to trade this stock while they're shorting the shit out of this stock. So people are selling the shit out of the stock. So by Monday when the market opens up, that stock is going to plummet. Mm-hmm. And these guys are going to make a fucking gang of money on the short. And we lose again. We get nothing out of the deal. The little guy gets nothing out of the deal. I didn't even have the stock, but I seen what was going on, and I'm like, this is fucked up. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, hold the line. The stock that I did have, though, I did have Nokia. I had Nokia. I had a little bit of Nokia. But for me, Nokia was a better stock to have because it's a company that's not dying. So if I hold on to that stock, it doesn't feel as risky as holding on to AMC and GameStop, which these companies are dying right now. They're, these companies in trouble. They may go under, So now this is what happens. So I was basically telling people, if you hold, now they can't fucking make their money on the shorts. Mm. It'll stay at a level where we can still fucking, buy hopefully on Monday, because they can't keep these companies off the fucking ticker forever. They can't, it's just illegal to do that. Right. At least I thought. But so that was the theory, just hold and until the weekend and it's over. And now, we can get back to buying these stocks and we can keep fucking them.
Yep.
But of course that didn't happen. They shut off the stocks. They didn't allow people to buy the stocks. So people sold. And these fucking guys make money on this show while they actually dumped $2 billion in his lap, the owner of Robinhood. You see, the owner of Robinhood was also going to lose money. Because here's how stocks also work. There's a thing called margin. Margin is like, let me see how I can explain and break this down to y'all. I mean, y'all, not y'all, but the people watching.
Right.
Margin is like, okay, here's a good analogy. Margin is like, for people that gamble, if you're a gambler, here's a good analogy. Margin is like going to the crap table and getting a $50,000 marker, right? Mm-hmm. They loan you the money. So you basically betting with the house's money. And if you win, no harm, no foul, you give them back, you walk away with the winnings. If you lose, you owe these fuckers $50,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what margin basically is. You're gambling your own money.
Yeah.
So if you say $100,000 in stock, they'll say, okay, we'll let you use. Got me? So now you can basically bet with their money. So you can bet you're basically saying, I have 100,000, they're gonna give you another 100,000.
Right.
So you can also, now I'm no foul, you give them back their money that you borrowed and you made money on the stock. But if you fucking lose on that stock, then you gotta pay them back the margin.
Right.
So my thought process, my theory is that Robinhood, people were taking out so much margin, do you understand? Yeah. And making money off the margin with that stock, that he didn't have the money to cover it. Mm. And so he was going to lose a whole lot of fucking money too.
Right.
If he didn't turn the faucet off. So he did two things. He turned the faucet off, which was cutting off the trading of the stocks, and he stopped people from being able to trade with margin. Mm. So not only wasn't we allowed to use margin, but he also limited the amount of money you can use with your own money. So you were only able, when it came back Monday, you were only buy like it's a fucking stop. It was only equivalent to like $1,500. So he capped it. So it was a fuck job all the way around to the people. Right. And people should be very fucking upset and saying fuck Robinhood behind this. Mm-hmm. And that's all I got to say. I'm not a hostile motherfucker, man. Like I said, I actually like the app. I think it's brilliant of putting, stocks in the palm of people's hands, actually putting people on the fucking trading floor, basically, and being able to trade in real time. I think that's dope. It levels the playing field, because think about this. Before this app, right? There was no way we could even do what we did. There's no way we could all get together and say, yo, let's fucking buy this stock at a go rate. You couldn't do it. You have to call your guy, you know what I'm saying? But these guys, they have access to after hour trading, before hour trading. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So they've been fucking the system for years and years and years until something like this came along. So, that's why I thought it was a brilliant app, and I like the whole theory of it and what it was. But he destroyed that with what he did this weekend. He's definitely not for the people.
Yeah, it's crazy because you almost can't trust where, to put your money at. That's why obviously you have to put your money in so many different places. Because at the end of the day, that app was just something developed by someone, and and he has the power and the authority to just stop it. But speaking of an app that's being developed, you're developing an app called ICONN, which seems to focus on empowering the artist. And I've heard you speak about it, and it definitely seems interesting. Can you tell us more about it and the inspiration behind it?
Man, it's just what you said, empowering artists, giving us back some of our creative, power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems like, artists always get the short end of the stick of everything. We're the creators, we create shit, and somehow they steal all of our fucking shit and get paid off of it, and we get nothing. But, ICONN is a platform where, content creators can monetize their content through, different ways, getting tips in the app or getting booked for private lives where you can do like tutorials, master classes, things of that nature. Also, you can. There's a lot of features on there. I'm having some wine, people. There's definitely a lot of great features on ICONN. That people will
and do you think
enjoy.
And now with where the world is too, I feel like this is even a better time for it. Like you said, people can get booked for the live. People can do these and do concerts on there too, and it's just all app based.
Yeah, you can schedule concerts. You can charge for your lives, which is I think adds a different level of something to it. And I don't know yet. Sometimes when you do things, you don't know what's going to be the actual catch, what's going to be the thing. It's like the same thing with music. You make certain songs and you're like, this is going to be the one. And then no, it's the other one. You know what I mean? So it's just, sometimes you build these platforms and you're thinking this is going to be the thing that everybody's going to love. And then there's this little nuanced thing that everybody actually loves. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I'm kind of finding things like that right now with the app as we're working through it with trial and error. I'm seeing what works, what doesn't work.
Definitely.
We're in beta right now.
Mm-hmm. So how does it work? So basically, so if someone wanted to book an artist, they would just go on the ICONN app, and then that information would go directly to the artist and their team. Is that how it works?
Absolutely.
Okay. So basically, it kind of sounds like it's like cutting out like the booking agent, right? Instead of having a booking agent, the party promoter or someone who wants to have Ja Rule or someone perform at their event. We can just go directly to you and instead of a booking agent.
Absolutely. See, I don't want to cut out the agents because the agents are useful. People artists use their agents. They use their management teams. So it's not meant to cut them out. It's meant to be more of a B2B, with artists, to buyer. And that's what it's more or less about, cutting out that other middleman. The guy that is your third cousin or right. or whoever that may know the promoter that takes his cut to get to you. And then, that there's a whole bunch of bullshit. But now a promoter can or a buyer can call right, can book an artist straight through the platform and get right to his management team or the artist himself and negotiate the deal right then and there through the platform. Yeah. And that's the beauty of it.
And we were, it's funny, B and I were just talking about that too, of like charging for lives. like in kind of getting on and charging people?
Well, yeah, because I heard Ja Rule say it.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview and Ja was speaking on how, well, basically the direction of where social media and just monetization is going in general. I believe you were speaking about the ICONN app, and you were saying that pretty soon artists, they're going to start charging for their lives. You know, like let's say Cardi B or is having a Christmas party and you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even before then, but we were discussing like we're surprised it hasn't, none of these apps have allowed that yet or been saying, hey, charge you to get in here or this and that. We were just discussing that. We were like, I think this is dope that this is now implemented. I think it's been needed.
Yeah, well,
especially
you gotta understand, fellas, that's not those other apps' business model.
Right.
Yeah.
Their business model is advertisement. You understand? Let me get as many, content creators as I can on my platform. Let me get as many artists as I can on my platform so I can drive all of this content so I can fucking charge for advertisement.
Yeah.
So the business model is just not it's this different type of monetization. What I'm saying is let the artists decide what they want to for their content.
Mm-hmm.
Let them decide if they want to create a podcast and charge, $1 or $2 or $5 or $100, whatever it may be for people to watch their content. Let them decide that. And what you'll learn is people will pay for good content.
Definitely.
Period.
Yeah. Facts.
You see Joe is over, we went over to Patreon.
I was thinking about that.
I think that's a dope power move. You know what I mean? But you see what how our people do us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unbeknownst to everything you watch on, cable, you know what I'm saying? That's all content.
Exactly.
You're paying those subscriptions.
Mm-hmm. No.
So if you enjoy the content, what's wrong with paying for it? And I think this is something we just have to get people used to again. And that's why, even with ICONN, what I did is I changed the narrative a little bit, the thought process of what it is to do a podcast. And when you think about a podcast, your first thought is it's free. They've always been free. They're free. So I wanted to change the narrative of what it is. So I when we do on ICONN, or what you guys could come on ICONN and do, should be dope. We do a vidcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a video. It's basically the same thing, but it's not audio now. You can go get the audio, but what we're giving you is content. We're giving you video. So whether it's fucking y'all just sitting across from me on this table like you're doing and doing your banter and back and forth and having intelligent conversation or fucking arguing, whatever's your thing.
Right.
That content is valuable.
Yeah.
You understand? And so with ICONN, I'm hoping to change the way people view that when they want to, look at content and hopefully pay for content. It's not a podcast, it's a vidcast. So vidcast cost.
And that's exactly and that's exactly what we call our show. We don't even call it a podcast. We just call it a show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I want to move in that direction too. We're just calling them shows.
Yeah.
Original content.
Yeah, we got
that. ICONN originals. You know what I mean?
There you go. ICONN originals.
Like
yeah, we actually got that from Dame Dash because we had him on last week, and but I seen him saying he was on a podcast, and the dudes who were doing the podcast, they kept calling their podcast a podcast, and he was like, no, call it a show. And then once me and Tim got together, and once we started developing this, I was like, we can't call this a podcast. Like, this is a show. We doing video only. You know what I mean? Right. So I definitely like that concept. Was this inspired at all by like when Jay-Z launched Tidal? Because to me, that seemed like the first one to where that was like the first launch that seemed like it was, strictly focused on empowering the artist. Because I believe Tidal, they do something different than Apple and all the other streaming sites.
Yeah, Tidal, what I love with Tidal is it's the same thing with me. Jay bought Titles, so there's a little bit of a difference. You know what I'm saying? I'm building ICONN from the ground up, but the thought process of it is the same. Because I like to say, and this could bode well for Tidal as well. I'm not recreating the fucking wheel. I'm creating it for the culture. That's the difference. That's the fucking difference.
Yep.
And that's the difference with Tidal. When Jay took over Tidal, it became part of the culture. You could tell the playlists that get curated. It got soul to it. You could tell those shits was made with love. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when you listen to some of them Apple joints, you're like, man, who the fuck made this shit, man?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this song? So you could tell those Tidal playlists, they're being curated with love and soul and that black flavor on it. You know what I'm saying? It got that seasoning on it. It's the same thing with ICONN. It just got a different vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? It's black. And so I'm the things that I'm doing is it just has a vibe. It just has a fucking certain type of swag to it. You know, that swag.
Ja, do you have a release for it?
Yep.
Okay.
Coming soon. Like I said, I'm in beta right now, and I'm hoping to be in the App Store in another few weeks.
Okay.
And so it'll be real soon. But I'm doing a big thing for it. You know, that's another thing when I say, you know, I'm creating for the culture. These other apps, most apps, every app, when they launch, they just kind of just go into the App Store and, you know, that's it. You know what I mean? Word of mouth and, you know, do some marketing, do some, you know, a little advertisement here, maybe do some runs on Instagram shit to let you know they got an app and App Store. But what it's not the same when you add the entertainment aspect to it, you know, the background of hip hop and entertainment and how we kind of just, you know, we just know how to take lemons and make lemonade and shit. You know, that's right. Our shit. You know what I mean? So I want to do something really dope for ICONN. So I'm doing the ICONN-a-thon. And it's a fucking 24-hour live fucking virtual party on ICONN when I'm launching. And I got like 16 to 18 DJs that I'm you know, working out, you know, it's going to spin this motherfucker out for the whole day. And this is going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm going to have some special guests come through. It's growing every day. Every day the ideas and what we're doing is growing and shit. So, you know, just stay tuned. This is going to be a fun-filled day. And this is my launch. And that day, everybody will be able to go to the App Store and the Google and sign right up and make their page right then and there. So I'm hoping that day I can sign up. My goal is I want to try to sign up at least 100,000 people on the, you know, and that would be dope for me.
It sounds really promising, just the whole idea and the concept. I like the name too. So I'm sure that it's going to do well. So
smash.
Josh, so I'm sure you get business opportunities.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely. You're welcome. I'm sure you get business opportunities presented to you often. What are some traits about an opportunity that would make you want to move forward with it? Like what needs to be there for you to really move forward on an opportunity?
You know, it's crazy because in business, a lot of time it's you know, people don't always bet on the horse in business. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of time they bet on the jockey. You know, and you want the motherfucker that's riding to be a person that's labeled on their pride. You know, passionate about, you know, what they're doing in the business. And it's gonna really fucking, you know, run through walls to make it, you know, successful.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
More important than them having everything so buttoned up, you know, in the beginning.
Right, because you can see the potential from it.
Yeah.
But you want to know the man or woman behind it first.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Do they believe in it? Do they have skin in the game? Are they willing to put their everything, you know, in it to make it happen? Then I'm ready to ride with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But it has to be you. It can't be me. And that's the thing. You know, when it's help, I'm just your anchor. You know, I'm your crutch. I'm here to make sure that, you know, things navigate in the right directions. You meet the right people. We get you to the right places. We get you in the right doors. But you have to have the passion. You have to be the one that's going to sell it. You have to be the one that's going to bring it home. And for me, that's what I look for is, you know, the passion in that person who's actually going to run the business.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have to weed a lot of those out too, by the way? I'm sure you get, like MB said, you get these all the time. How many do you listen to, or do you kind of follow up on too? It's like, yeah, okay, I want to get a little bit more background on this. You know, even if it's something you don't necessarily know about,
I mean,
you can sense the passion that they do have behind what they do.
I listen to a lot of pitches. You know, I listen to pitches all the time. It's real easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people are pitching money to me, I usually, you know, it usually doesn't catch my attention. If that dick is your money will get this, how we gonna get the money. You know, I want to hear more about the idea. I want to hear more about the drive. You know, what solution are we solving? What you know, what is this idea going to do for people that involve themselves? You know, what is it doing for them? How is this bettering them? How, you know, are you as passionate about it is the people that are going to buy it? You know, or more. You know, those are the things. You know, it's just those are the things that are important, because it's like when I started making music, right? Leo said to me, and I like I said, at the time when I was being taught these lessons and people telling me these lessons, I was like, man, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but Leo told me, he said, you know, Ja, it's not all about the money. This is, and you know, but what he was saying to me is not all about the money, but, you know, love what you do, be passionate about what you do, and the money will come.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you know, I was obviously passionate about what I did and love what I did, but I was in a moment trying to renegotiate for my next album. So I was like, I don't want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get the money right now.
That's the shit you trying to fucking hit me with right now. Yeah. You know, but as you get older, you realize what the lesson really was. It wasn't about the money.
Right.
It was about the money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
yeah. I hear you. So you got into acting pretty early in your music career. And I don't think that I've seen you speak on it too much. Is that something that you always wanted to do?
I love acting, man. Acting is a dope.
Your character in Fast and Furious was super dope too.
Challenge for me.
I was high you wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, good old Edwin. Yeah. I miss it. That was a situation that you know, was crazy at the time, man. I was on tour, man, making tons of money, and it just wasn't the right situation. Plus, you know, Vin Diesel wasn't coming back to one. Rob Cohen, it was just a different thing. So I chose to go on tour.
Yeah.
And so, you know, by the time I chose to go on tour, you know, John Singleton took over the second project, and me and John got cool and started building a relationship. John wanted me to do the film, and you know, the money just wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? So Fast and Furious, they was offering me to do about $500,000 to do, you know, the next second one.
Right.
But like I you know, at that moment you don't make that's not even a decision. You know what I'm saying? You don't know there's gonna be 16 fucking Fast and Furious
exactly.
and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that it wasn't even a hard decision at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do love acting, and I got some more acting. I got some more shit coming.
So do you still have the same love to make music today as you once did before?
No. That's just being honest.
That's truthful.
You know, I still love music, but but I don't have the same passion to make it like I used to. Like before, music used to be therapeutic. Like I needed it to get out and release certain tension. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm 40 in my 40s now. I'm 44. I don't, you know, those aggressions, that young aggression that I used to have as a young man, and shit is not so much there anymore. You know, so certain things I don't need the the music so much, get my therapy through. It comes through other things, like I said, I got some film and some real close to getting sold to really big major networks and deal with some major partners in that. And so it's I'm just working behind the scenes, doing what I love to do. That void, that thing that music gave me, that void that it filled for me, I get that through creating other things now. Like I got 2 inventions that I'm working on. ICONN is one of those things. But see, for me, it's like now that's paying it forward. It's like I'm helping out other artists. I'm trying to help them, or build the tools of things that I wanted as a young artist that just wasn't available. That wasn't there for me. That I wish I, could have had certain things, 100%. And then that's what I'm trying to bring. That's what I'm trying to bring to the world now. And that's what fulfills me now. That's what keeps me very, very happy. But music, it's always going to be my first love. And it's crazy. You start to miss it after a while. You start to miss being in the studio. You start, like I was on ICONN Live today, just vibing out. Rocking out to Vini Vidi Vici because I'm about to do my Vibes concert on ICONN real soon. And I'm doing the whole Vini Vidi Vici album live from front to back. It's going to be real dope. So yeah.
Jai, you mentioned talking to young artists and stuff too. Obviously, it's different now than it was before. You and I had talked about a little bit of, the things of epidemics, I feel like, with these young artists, whether it be drugs, whether it be, people getting killed left and right, man. I feel like every day we see somebody get killed. And you and I were talking about it a little bit when you said, you get somebody killed once and then maybe like 10 years later, you'll hear about it when Pocket Big and things like Scotland Rock.
It was a big gap.
Rock,
It was a big gap.
Yeah.
It was a big gap.
Why now? Why is this like, what do you tell these young artists too that are coming up that you can tell might be headed in that direction?
It's crazy because I had an interesting conversation with a young man on ICONN today and shit. He came on there. His name was Trent. He wanted from Atlanta, and he wanted to interview me and shit. Just shoot the shit with me, really. And so I was like, yeah, come on, young blood, we get on. So we get on, we kicking it, and I learned something from him. What I learned from him is far removed from everything that we think we are as Black people. He let me know that we're actually getting closer or trying to get closer to it than we think. And by that I mean, positivity, positive side of things. Going to college, getting education. Starting to, invest your money in real estate and stocks and tech or whatever. That's becoming the cool shit now. Like it's less and less it's less and less, cool to be the nigga that's selling drugs or, and doing the whatever, just doing fuck shit. It's less and less cool now to be doing all of that. I think. Don't get me wrong. I'm not 100% sure because I do see a lot of fuck shit, and I'm like, wow, But he gave me a different perspective because sometimes you got to step outside of the bubble that we in.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So we can see what's going on the other side. Like, if you look at the Shade Room or Baller Alert all day, and that's what you tune into, and yeah, you may think, all Black people is just, we shits and giggles, man. We having a good old time, ha ha, kiki. But, if you step outside of that realm and maybe look at different forums, a Business Weekly or something else, something or other. You understand? Yeah. You may see a lot of black progressive people on there doing dope shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, 100%. That's just where he took me. And we all have to be careful with thinking that they're not good, our people out there doing dope shit. Because there's a lot of black people out there doing positive, dope shit. And, we got, black people who do negative shit. It's like anything, you know what I'm saying? But I think we tend to, lean more towards our, we do a lot of negative shit, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not always that. I think we do a lot of dope shit too. We don't get credit for it.
I feel like that's becoming.
I think the media pumps it up as us being so fucked up all the time. What I'm trying to say is I think it's a media thing that paints us a certain way,
right?
And it's not so much that way when you get a chance to look outside of what they show you.
What? Yeah. I definitely hear what you're saying. I also think that there's more awareness as far as like all the positive stuff that black people are doing now too. I mean, of course, if you got blog sites like Shade Room and these different sites, they're gonna push, the negativity and just like the bullshit because it is entertaining.
Get
you know
some
what
views.
I mean? Yeah. But that's not even the Shade Room. Even even the news, like Fox News, CNN,
right.
like they just the world in general. We preach positivity and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, they know that negativity does sell no matter how much we want to say positivity. That's not going to get as much traction as like the negative shit. Mm-hmm. So it's just
sometimes we got to fight for that. Sometimes we got to fucking say, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice a view. I'm going to sacrifice some likes so that we can be seen in a different light. So we can be seen in a more positive light, a more strong light. I hate that we always, painted in a certain way as people. You know what I mean? I hate that shit because I know that we do so many great things. We're such a fucking dope fucking species of people, my black people. You know what I mean? But you get the shows and shit, the Love and Hip Hops, and I've executive produced Growing Up Hip Hop, New York edition.
Oh,
and I fight.
Okay. You did, yeah.
I fight with these niggas, man. I fight with these niggas.
I watched the first season of it. Yeah, it wasn't too crazy.
My thing is this. My thing is like this. See, here's my thing, right? You got impressionable kids, black kids watching all of these shows, right? So then now you got to think about there's levels to this shit. So now, if you're a young black impressionable kid and you watching Love and Hip Hop, you're like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the rapper niggas and shit. The rap, we get ratchet. It's all good. That's cool. I get it. But then you take it up a notch and you go to Love and Basketball. You're like, these the ball players' wives. You know what I'm saying? They should, they got a little more prestige or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They'll handle themselves a little different. They're the basketball players' wives. No. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? We take it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? We go to the doctor's wives. Married to medicine. You know what I'm saying? Now, wives, they got to have a little more coof, right? No. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? So now you you sit back and you say, damn, I guess it don't matter what level we get to as a people, this is how we act. You understand what I'm saying? That's that's not true. This is what these shows are portraying. And that's the bullshit. So I fight with them on Growing Up Hip Hop because I'm like, yo, these are legacy kids. These are kids that did not grow up fucking in the hood at all. Y'all got them portraying like they didn't grow up this way, most of them. They're fucking good kids. You should show them doing the shit they really do. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of having them fucking argue with each other and shit like that, I said, these kids are change the world kids. You know what I'm saying? They want to fucking do shit and fight and go march and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, show them doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the fly shit. That's the shit that we should. So I fight with them a lot because I want them to show our people in a better light and shit like that. Is there a lot of
pushback? Like on that, like when you are fighting for that, is there a lot of pushback?
It's not pushback. It's entertainment.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I get we got to entertain. And I get it. Yeah, we do got to entertain. I don't want to make a boring show either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't want to make a whack show either. But I just think if you give people more or take them outside of the box or give them an option, then maybe you might find out that we do like to watch other shit than the only thing you give us. You understand? And that's all they like to watch. If that's all you give us, you got to give me something else, and then say they only like that. You know what I'm saying? If you give me fucking chicken all the time, you can't tell me I only like chicken.
Exactly.
Give me some steak, and then say, all right, I like chicken better than steak. Or I like, you understand what I'm saying? Give me an option. And I just think there's not a lot of options when it comes to Black TV out there. So I'm trying to be creative and do some dope shit. Yeah. And I'm also going to do original content on ICONN coming down the pipe too. So
nice. Does it also come down to like people having a price too? Like, look, they're offering me like, you know, but do you have to sit them down and say, look, you can get more, just you can get more playing positive, doing more positive stuff and promoting positivity and not having to stoop down.
Listen, man, you know, I'm from the struggle. I'm from the streets. I'm from the hustle. So I ain't never knocking nobody's hustle and how they make their money. You know what I'm saying? Right. I understand it. I just wish it could be different. I wish it could be better. I wish they could offer us better opportunities, you know, because if a nigga, listen, man, when I was fucked up and broke, and you tell me, yo, you gonna give me X amount of dollars to come argue with some motherfuckers on TV? Nigga, let's get this, you know what I'm saying? You ain't hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't killing nobody. You're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about it that way. But it's just the long-term effect that these things do to our communities when all the kids see is this and they grow up and this is what they want to aspire to be. It hurts us in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, trust me, man, I'm not knocking nobody hustle their money. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Get your money. You know what I mean? But it's just, it's the networks and the people that put on the show that need to figure out how to fucking make Black people more inclusive when it comes to doing, you know, positive shit. You understand? And positive shows.
Yeah, that and also, you know, we have to start, you know, creating it ourselves and creating the narrative ourselves.
Absolutely.
Which you know you're already doing, and which I feel like this generation is a lot more entrepreneurial, and then we're about ownership and
for sure,
creating
for sure.
it. So I definitely feel like it's definitely going in that going in that direction. It's going to take some time. But I definitely feel
like
the
content creators. Doing that. I
exactly.
Agree
just because
with that.
like we have to create like our own narrative, right. You know.
And this generation is the most creative at doing that. Right now. Yeah, for sure.
It's baby steps with everything, man. And I think we stepping in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, we had to get Trump out of office, get him out of here. Now we can fucking start to rebuild the country in the right way. Yeah. You know, with Biden and Kamala. So. I'm anxious to see, you know, where these things go. I really think this will be the best administration for Black people that we've ever had in history.
Hopefully, yeah. I definitely feel
no hopefully.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gotta be. It gotta be that way.
Yeah, I just feel like whoever
it gotta be that way.
I just feel like whoever's in office, like we gotta handle our shit no matter who you know, who's in office. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? So whether it's the Biden administration,
we definitely do. But you know, it's important. It's important, you know, that we also, you know, listen, man. Black people are resilient.
Yeah,
we always gonna fight.
That's
we always gonna
way.
fight through the struggle.
Yeah,
we always gonna fight through the struggle. But that don't mean it got to fucking be that way.
Yeah,
that don't mean we always should have to fucking, you know. I love the LeBron commercial when he talks about, you know, how everybody has the same story, humble beginnings, and how we came up through the struggle, and you know, we fought through it all, and they tell these great stories of resilience and how Black people are so dope to be able to strive and come through it all, and whoop, whoop, whoop. And at the end of the shit, he said the dopest shit ever. You know what would be the best thing? No more fucking humble beginnings.
Yeah, that part. Yep.
That part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't we fucking have the fucking head start or fuck the head start, just have an even start. Let me start with you at the motherfucker start line. Why you get to start 100 yards ahead? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that we as a people are starting to have these conversations. This is a dope dialogue that we're having right here. We 3 Black men right now talking about how we could better.
Tim's not black, but
how we could.
Yeah.
His vibe though. Yeah.
If he didn't say, I was gonna say it. But
you look black from here, my nigga.
I appreciate
it. Yeah.
I know what clip I'm posting of. Not black.
Exactly.
Joe, I wanted to ask you this, following up on that. But I've always me and MB have always talked about like leaving a legacy for the next generation and to our kids and to our families and stuff like that, especially with content that we're creating. Is that always also in your mind too? We've always talked about, look, I want to leave some shit when we're gone. Like when we're gone, I want stuff that's left. Do you always think about that when you're moving and creating stuff too?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's important. You know, I think us as Black people, we don't think about that enough.
Yeah.
You know, you hear a lot of motherfucking, you know, I'm a die before 25, or you can't, you know, you can't, you know, you can't take it with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like, I just, you know, I just want us to see the bigger picture, and legacy is definitely part of the bigger picture.
Yeah, because you were speaking about that LeBron commercial, how he says at the end, "No more humble beginnings." But but I feel like the way through, like to that, is through, you know, economic empowerment, because
that's about legacy.
Yeah, because I'm sure, you know, your kids aren't starting from humble beginnings. Like they're starting, you know, where like LeBron is like referring to.
Right.
But
you should see these schools. You know, this is the shit that I'm talking about. You should see the schools that the kids go to in these neighborhoods versus the schools that I went to.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, you know, that we went to. Come on, man. It's just ridiculous, man.
100%.
It's like night and day. They prepare these kids for that. When they talk about they don't teach them entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They teaching them that shit in these schools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They isn't teaching that shit in our school. They ain't teaching nothing in our schools.
Exactly.
No social studies at those ones.
Little shit like, motherfucker, my kids can't fucking cut school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, picture that shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna call every fucking phone that me and my wife own, yo. They gonna call their grandmothers. They gonna call everybody, man. These kids ain't here today.
Yeah.
And when I went to school, I cussed through every day. There's no calls, no nothing.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a difference.
You intercept that letter
they're
from
holding
school.
these kids accountable, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're holding these parents accountable.
Yeah.
100%.
You know? And that's the difference. But it's also a responsibility that people have, you know, but it's just tough, man. Our people have been fucking disenfranchised for so long that, you know, we're so behind the eight ball that it'll take a lot for us to catch up. But, you know, like I said, baby steps. We're working at it. We're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
You know, I like a lot of the things that I'm seeing. You know, of course, there's always going to be crime. There's always going to be this, always going to be that. But that's with everywhere, and that's with every and any race and every whatever. But you know,
so Josh,
I think we're making better strides.
Yeah. I definitely feel the same way. So Josh, I got to ask you about this. It's, you know, the infamous Dave Chappelle joke, you know, where he mentions you, says, "Oh, who cares what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this?" Obviously, that was a joke, you know, but Dave Chappelle is regarded as one of the greatest comedians, you know, to ever live. Did him mentioning you in his stand-up elevate your brand at all?
I love Dave. Dave's my brother, man.
Yeah.
That shit, it's a fact joke. It's fucking
funny as hell. You still see it on like Twitter and stuff.
But you know, it's so funny. It's the funniest shit. I'm actually thinking about starting a podcast. Surrounded by around it. I might call it Ja Think or
that's a fire idea.
Where's Ja? I don't know, something like that. But you know, people. Thank you, my brother. You know, people miss the point of the joke too. You know, Dave is basically talking about celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I was just happy to be the biggest celebrity at the fucking time, and MTV had me call in and shit. You know, but you know. but you know, he was really talking about the, you know, how
big you were
we put on celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not our fucking job to fucking, you know, get up here and say like when the vaccine came, the fucking Surgeon General dude gets up there, he's like, LeBron James, these celebrities become, you know what I'm saying? It's not our job to do that. Stop putting so much on celebrities. Stop asking celebrities to be the answer for every fucking thing. You understand? We're not the professionals in this. It is just like fucking, you know, the news. They got me on there talking stocks. Shit, I'm not a fucking stock professional. You understand? I'm not a fucking stock guru or any of that. I'm a nigga that trades some stocks. You know what I'm saying? That's who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? I'm no expert, but they you know, that was the premise of the joke is, you know, you don't stop putting so much, you know, stock in what fucking
and what celebrities think.
Celebrities have to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Josh, before we get into these last closing questions, please tell us what we should look forward to from Ja Rule in 2021.
Obviously, ICONN and the new platform, everything dope. ICONN. I don't know when this is going to air, but if we're not in the App Store by this time, just so if we're not in the App Store by then yet, and we didn't do the ICONN-a-thon yet, you can download the app right now. It's in beta. Get it. You go to my link click the link in my bio at Ja Rule on Instagram or at Ja Rule on Twitter. Click the links in my bio. You can get to the app. But so that's what I'm pushing. You know, what I've learned is you got to be laser focused to make things successful.
Definitely.
And when I had my most success in life was music, I was laser focused. I didn't do anything but music. And so, you know, I want this to be very successful. So I'm not doing anything but ICONN right now. I'm laser focused on getting this app out to the public, out to the people, and blowing it up and making it, you know, hopefully the top app of 2021. We're going to speak it into existence. It's going to be the top app of 2021.
It'll be the top app 2021.
So that's what I'm working on right now, you know, and I got some more things coming. Like I said, I'm working on some film and television stuff and also some, you know, my music stuff. I'm going to put out a new album in 2021.
Nice.
Most likely, as long as COVID. I'm waiting for COVID to subside. I ain't put out an album in the middle of COVID. This is just defeats the purpose. Motherfuckers can wait a little longer. Shit, you know what I'm saying? So if I can't tour with it, I'm just gonna wait till I can go out on the road with it too. You know?
Yeah. Right. What do you enjoy most about just being an artist? Is it the recording process?
And one more thing, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, one more thing I gotta plug, man. And this is important because I bought a female football team. The New York Stars.
Yeah.
It's a female tackle football team, professional tackle football team. And this is really important, man, and really dope, you know, for women's athletics and where this is going. I think this is the next fucking wave for, you know, women's athletics is blowing up anyway, but this is the next natural progression. Football is the only thing that they don't have out there. And you know, I know y'all see the heavy fucking, you know, flag football is going on. It's heavy right now on flag football for the women. So, you know, it's to build up and Nike's getting behind it and you know, all the big corporations are getting behind women's football. So
you own it? It's called the New York Stars?
Yeah, I own the New York Stars.
Wow.
That's huge. There's 32 teams in the league. It's basically like the end of the female NFL or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
congrats. That's huge.
Bro, that's huge. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When is the season?
I love sports, so that's right up my alley.
Yeah. Now I hear you. So for these last 5 questions, these are very introspective questions, but you can just, you know, try to give us quick, short answers. So when was the last time that you pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone?
Right now. I do that shit every day. I'm a rap artist.
Yeah.
That's in the tech space. You know what I mean? That's pushing myself outside my comfort zone as much as I can get, I think, you know, because people don't expect this from me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really creating it. It's not like I'm not. I'm really creating this shit and putting it together with my team, and so it's a little bit different. So people are a little shocked, a little taken back.
Yeah,
but yeah, that would definitely be one of the things.
Okay. Sidebar, you said you're a big sports guy. Are you a Knicks fan? Since you from New York, obviously.
Of course, man. I'm a Knicks fan, and my Knicks is playing good right now.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
We're looking
Sorry
good.
to hear that.
But Brooklyn is looking real good too. Listen, I'm a New York fan.
Yeah.
So, definitely looking forward to what they're going to do this year.
Brooklyn's looking good. What was the last small act of kindness that you did for someone?
Shit. I don't know. I do shit often, I guess.
I hear you.
I can't think of the last thing I did. I ain't been
interview.
outside in a long time, so.
The interview with Trent from Atlanta, I think that was a dope one too. I think that gave him some introspective too.
Yeah.
Like,
that was cool. Yeah, that was I didn't even think about that. That's just like normal shit that I do and shit. But right. I was thinking like some real. Yeah. But I guess that was an act of kindness. Yeah.
So what is one area of your life, whether that be your family life, your work life, your social life, your health life, spiritual life, love life, whatever, that you feel that you need to give some more attention to?
Before the pandemic, I would have said my family because I work hard and and sometimes when you out getting it and a little bit neglected, you know what I mean? Because you just start working and you just start moving. But during the pandemic, that part has been solid. I've been home a lot. I've been home with the kids, home with the family, bonding, and it's been dope. So yeah,
dope.
Nice. So what is one good habit that you want to gain and one bad habit that you want to drop?
One good habit that I want to gain, probably eating better. Mm-hmm. I want to try to give up some of the bad things. You know what? I don't give a fuck. You're the ones. I don't indulge that much, So fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I guess eat a little better. Yeah. And the one bad, what was it? What was the other thing?
One bad habit that you want to drop, which I guess you kind of just answered because you said yeah. Because you said that you basically just want to stop. You just want to eat a little better and that you want to stop just indulging. Yeah. Well, you can go ahead, and still answer it.
Nah, the one bad thing I would probably say smoking.
Okay.
Weed.
Yeah.
So I love my weed, but yeah, I probably need to slow down and stop smoking a little bit now that I'm getting a little older.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't help
just maybe do edibles.
Oh, got you. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say it doesn't help, but you're speaking more so of the actual smoking process, not of like marijuana, but actually smoking it.
Yeah, it's gotta be fucking killing my lungs, yo. I've been smoking since I was like fucking 16 years old or some shit. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, this is gonna take a toll sooner or later. I need to stop this shit. So, I love it. So yeah.
Yeah. And what is your overall purpose?
I'm a creative. My overall purpose in life I think I'm here to create amazing things. Mm-hmm. I don't know what those things are and where it's going to take me. I know this is where I started was music, and where I'm at right now is tech. I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I definitely know I was put there to create.
100%. And Ja, please leave our audience with some final words.
Man, love yourself. Love your inner self, love your outer self. Be good to others, be kind to others, live your life.
Yes, sir.
That's it, man.
Sounds great.
Gems from a legend right there.
Yeah.
Man, Ja, me and MB can't thank you enough for coming on the show, man. We appreciate it. And
much love, man. Thanks for having me, fellas. This shit was dope.
ICONN coming out soon, man. This has been Off the Record with Ja Rule. We appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. I gotta get y'all on. We gotta do something on ICONN.
On ICONN.
100%,
We
man.
with it.
100%.
I see y'all
100%.
page. I see the page
Yeah.
y'all set up. It's dope. So
We appreciate it, man.
we'll fuck around. I'm gonna follow y'all and shit. I didn't know that was y'all at first because this is
Yeah.
club in Vegas called On the Record. So I thought that's who it was. at
Got
first.
it.
Got you.
Yeah,
Well, we appreciate it, man.
But you got
Appreciate you.
We'll
No
be
doubt,
working.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
Much love, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, John.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk.
Brothers.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Be
Appreciate you.
good.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
too.